Chris Brown is the acting national president of the Health Services Union. He joins me in the studio. Chris Brown, this makes for uncomfortable reading.
It does, and it's one of the last pieces, unfortunately not the final piece, but one of the last pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that we need to put in place to clean up that branch of the union and make sure that it gets back on its feet.
How indicative is this report of what takes place throughout the HSU?
Oh look, this is unique. It's purely contained to what's happening within the HSU East branch, and it's partly because of the structure of that union. It's been almost a separate legal entity in its own right. Therefore, it's been able to make its own decisions, including obviously decisions about awarding contracts and what people get paid. So that's been part of the problem with why this situation has arisen.
I don't understand though. How can millions of dollars go missing like that and no one sort of really pick it up?
Well, that's a good question, and that's what the Temby report was designed to get to the bottom of and identify what happened within that branch and who was responsible, and that's exactly what they've done. People would be aware that we've also moved to have applications in the federal court to actually put that branch into administration. The branch is now in administration. There's a former federal court judge who's going through the branch and basically cleaning up these sort of things, and I think the Temby report's going to give him a lot of guidance in what needs to be done to make sure that this sort of stuff can't happen again.
Talk us through some of those measures.
Look, there's two broad areas, or in fact there's three areas in which the administrator's been specifically instructed to have a look at. One is financial governance procedures and policies, so that there are the proper checks and balances within the organisation to prevent this from happening. Secondly, he's got the power to unilaterally apply to change the rules of the union to make sure that proper practices are enshrined in the rules of the union. And thirdly, he's got the ability, in fact he's got a responsibility, to actually pursue recovery of the monies. If he's found that any of the money's been misappropriated, then he can pursue that to recover the money on behalf of the union.
And you're confident these measures would ensure nothing like this happens again?
Look, you can't be absolutely certain in any organisation. If you get someone that really wants to rip off the organisation, then they're going to try all devious means to be able to do that. But where there are proper checks and balances, that is that not one person can't make all of the decisions. One person can't control the money, where you've got several people that need to approve it, then that's probably the tightest that you can get. And if anyone did try it, and even if they got away with it for a little bit of time, eventually it would be uncovered. And whilst there's been the suggestion that the only penalties that can be applied to union officials that rip off the union is $6,600. In fact, it's not. There are the same laws apply to anyone else in terms of stealing money, and there are laws out there that if people break those laws and they're of a criminal nature, then they can be imprisoned.
Should this report go to police?
Look, I'd be surprised if it hasn't already. I think that's ultimately up to the administrator, Michael Moore. But as I said, Michael Moore is the former federal court judge. I'm sure he will know what to do with it. I suspect that if he thinks that there's anything in that report that points to any criminal activity, then he certainly will be handing it over to the police. Is
it a matter of confidence of the members as well? Because this is very much, going to be key to regaining the confidence of those people whose money was spent and misappropriated.
Exactly, and I think it's important for members to understand that the action that's been taken so far, particularly getting the orders from the federal court, means that those people that have been named in the report, including Michael Williamson, have now effectively been sacked from their position. They're no longer there. They're not getting paid a wage. They're not getting any financial benefit from the organisation at all. And there will be fresh elections, which means the members themselves democratically will have the opportunity to make a decision as to who they want to run the union. And that's really important as part of this whole putting the branch into administration.
All right, Chris Brown, the Acting Chief of the HSU, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.